Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'm Adam and this is Candid Scale Modeling, and today I'm going to do something a little different. Hopefully it's interesting. As modelers, we always like to go out, shop, buy, pick out what we want to buy next, do some planning, and go to it. I'm doing something a little bit different. I gave my wife a list of ideas. She knows what I build, she can see my stash. And I told her, you pick my next build. I have no idea what she picked. I didn't tell her what to pick. She could have picked anything. And the deal is, whatever she picked, I'm going to open right now. And that's the next thing I build. I put everything else I'm working on aside, and that's what I built. So let's get to it. So, like I said, I have no idea what's in this thing yet, but I'm very curious to see what she picked. Hopefully this isn't too loud for the microphone. So excited. Well, it is a Meng, which is interesting. I actually just finished building a Meng. Oh, look at that. A Meng French FT-17 light tank riveted turret. I love the dinosaur for scale. That's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, we have tank shape and driver's compartment interiors. So we have interiors. I haven't done anything with interior yet. That'll be interesting. Movable suspension. I will have to admit the last Meng that I built, actually this guy right here, got painted obviously, but I wasn't too thrilled with those tracks, but maybe these will be different. We have a delicate diorama base provided to achieve a vivid diorama, and that's interesting. I also have never built something that came with a base. That's very cool. A lot more colors than the Mark A. Okay. Cast turret sold separately, that's okay. Not going to do any aftermarket stuff. Not going to do anything on the side. Let's see what this is all about, because I know nothing at all about this, other than it looks interesting. I really like builds and models. I'm starting to find myself drawn more towards the World War I side of things. They just look interesting. It's fascinating to me, the designs that they came up with before, I guess, what I would consider modern-looking tanks. Let's see. The FT-17 light tank was developed by French during World War I. Revolutionary configuration, crew compartment at the front, separate engine compartment at the back, drive sprocket at the back, idler wheel at the front, rotating turret at the front. Central full-view commander compartment has become and remained the standard tank layout. Alright, cool. The octagonal riveted turret replaced the conical cast turret in the early stage of mass production, which was simpler to mass produce than the early cast turret. What's more, the early turret was too small to allow any guns to be mounted in. French FT-17 light tank with a riveted turret could accommodate a crew of 2. It was armed with an 8mm Hotchkiss M1914 machine gun or 37mm Puteaux. My French is not very good. SA-18 gun. Over 4,100 FT-17s were built in France, and they were widely used in many countries around the world. 27 countries confirmed. In the strict sense, the FT-17 was the first real tank in the world. Played a vital role in the history of tank development. Sweet. I'm actually very excited. This is very cool. I'm glad she picked this. Let's see what's inside. I'm gonna stick that over there. I remember this in the last one. I could win cash prizes, but only if I did it in 2022. Oh well. Just stick that aside. Oh, these look like track wheels, idler wheels, running wheels. While I'm learning more about tanks as I go, I've always been one who just likes to build them. I never really got into the history and stuff, but I am learning as I go, so that's actually kind of fascinating and interesting to me. Didn't think that would happen. Anyway, so those look like running wheels of some kind. This must be the delicate diorama base. Like I said, I think it's kind of a nice touch. It'll be interesting to work. Bags, sandbags looks like. Not sure what those are, but I'll find out, right? This looks like more diorama base. Yeah, definitely. There's some wood. That's probably the base itself. Some more bags or some sandbags. Actually, the one thing I do notice, just like the other Meg I built, is they are clean. Oh, got these little pieces to pop off. Those look like they belong there. Ooh, better remember that. Sometimes they have little, I don't know what you want to call them, but injection pegs left over on the other sides. Those look intentional. So, no, I will not cut those off. Now we're getting into the tank itself. A lot of small bits. Me and small bits do not get along. I guarantee one small bit will go flying and I'll have to try and fabricate a replacement. Happens on every single kit. Every single kit I do. So far, I don't see any that I'm going to break. Usually, if there's a gun sticking out or an antenna, a pitot tube, I really got to remind myself, any small pieces that it says to put on, you put on as late as possible. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. Interior stuff, perhaps? Does it look like a structure? It's a lot of little parts. But, a little ammo belt, cool. These little hooks. When I get to the detailing of the Mark A, you'll see that I got several of these little hooks that I mangled in the process. Perfect opportunity for battle damage, weather damage, just decay, corrosion, etc. But still, things to try to watch out for. I don't purposely try to make little, break the small parts, but it always seems to happen. Yeah, these have to be internal stuff. There's the gun. It looks actually very interesting so far. Ooh, big drop kits. I'm cutting the bags off camera. I don't know if you guys actually want to see that. If you do, let me know, and I'll do the actual bag opening. But a lot of parts. It's going to be a lot of news, a lot of firsts for me on this. I've built models for years. Ooh, photo etch parts. Photo etch parts and some metal springs. That must be part of this. The suspension. Little hearts. Cool. A lot of firsts. So far I'm seeing the first diorama base that comes with the kit. I'm seeing first photo etch that I have to deal with. Suspension strings that I have to deal with. This will definitely be an interesting job. Anyways, as I was saying, I built models for years and years. When I was younger, I actually used to manage a hobby store. That was interesting. I'm actually thinking about doing some videos on things that happen in the hobby store. But I worked in it, managed it, built some wooden ships for a while. But I've always been the type of modeler who just, I did just want to build the model. I'd paint it up as nice as I could, but never really got into the detailing and weathering. It just wasn't for me, just wasn't something that I cared for. Stopped for several years, got back into it, and started to get an appreciation for the weathering process. Luckily, a lot of the skills that I had from wooden ships, etc., translate right over. But there's still a lot of things that I've never done before. The tracks. Well, these are different than the Mark A. Like I said, the Mark A I was not impressed with. I mean, it was cool. They're individual links. You snapped them together. They're flexible, but they kept falling apart. And after doing some research, it turns out that was a problem with that particular kit. A lot of people had that problem. So I ended up just gluing them in place. Don't tell anybody. These, though, look different. First of all, I don't have to cut them off. That's nice. But they look like they connect differently, so maybe they'll connect a little sturdier and not fall apart. We can hope. The color scheme. 2nd Platoon, 1st Company, 344th Tank Battalion, 304th Tank Brigade, U.S., Verdun, October 1918. There's one option. Or we have the tank units of Northeastern Frontier Defense Force, National Revolutionary Army, China, 1929. Don't know which way I'll go. Like I said, I don't usually have a plan when I start these things, but at least I have an idea and some options. Assuming the box art looks to do that from there. Yeah, I know it probably drives people nuts, but like I said, I don't really have a plan when I start. I just start building. And kind of as I go, I let kind of thoughts form and see where it takes me. A lot of the time, what I end up with is nothing like what I started with. So I just stopped making plans because they always changed on me. Always, always, always. Very cool. I'm not going to read all that to you. I don't have my reading voice going. A little bit I read in the beginning is the most I've read to somebody in a long time. Oh, this actually has some extra history on related people. That's cool. John Baptiste Eugene Estienne and Rodolph Ernst Metzmeyer. Cool. And this is much like the other Meng kit that I did. Instructions are pretty clear, pretty straightforward. Is there going to be any bending of parts? That was something I never dealt with. A lot of parts like these, you bend on the seams to form. It was a little sketchy at first, but I actually came to appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's the pins. A lot more steps than on the Mark A. That's alright, that's alright. That's it. Well, I gotta say, this was a pleasant surprise. I kind of like not knowing what I'm building next. It's kind of an interesting experiment, I gotta tell you. When I was going to open the bag, my brain was going all sorts of places. What did she get? What did she want me to do? Is it gonna be something that I enjoyed? And she nailed it. She did a really good job. I'll have to go tell the wifey she rocks. Well, of course she rocks, right? Anyways, so that's it. That is the French FT-17. This is what I am building next. Like I said, that's part of the rule, is I put aside what I'm currently working on, and this takes priority. So I will do a separate video on the actual build. Don't want to have a 5-hour video of the opening, the build, and the painting. But since that's the main thing that I'm working on, the build portion, hopefully I'll have up, I don't know, within a week or so, depending on how much time I have to actually sit at the bench. And then we'll do the painting, and that'll be the end of this first experiment, the what am I going to build next. Well, I hope that was as interesting to you as it was to me. I think I'm going to enjoy building this. And I think I'm going to enjoy doing this again, letting her pick something else in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, so like I said, my name is Adam. This has been Candid Scale Modeling. The first blind build. What am I building? Now I know. Thank you for stopping by. And if you made it to the end, I appreciate it. But go build something, huh? Have a good night.